Hello and happy Friday. This is Gina coming to you from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm coming to you live from the Hive today. Welcome. I'm excited to be here. Friday, it's going to be a fun Friday. We're doing techniques today. So who's excited? Who's joining me here today? Let me make sure. Oh, here we go. We are live, just making sure. All right, let's get started. I do have a few things to mention for later, but we're going to get stamping right away. One thing I do want to tell you about is there was a new release on Wednesday, some new papers that came out that are in the I can't think of what it's called, but okay, let me get my bearings together here, guys. Sorry. Some new paper, and I'm going to show you that later, and I actually have a contest for you guys, so there's going to be a prize with those new papers, and so I need you guys to help me out with that. But for now, we're going to get started with our classes. Looks like everyone's starting to tune in. We've got Susan, Mary Ellen, and Deanne. Good evening. Happy Friday. I'm excited to have you guys join me. The first card, we're actually not going to do the first card. I actually did the first card on August 21st. So you can actually go back and watch the first card. I will get that sent to you, ladies who already got the kits. I think I forgot to put that in the email, so I will make sure to email that link for you guys. Hello, Sandy. So the first card that we're going to work on will be the leaves, using the leaves mask. And like I said, I'm not going to work on that card, but I do want to show you one thing that I kind of oopsied in the video, and I just want to make sure that all of you understand how to do it. Hi, Patricia. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Here we go. So we're going to start off with our big shot and open it up. And this is the card that I'm talking about. This is the leaves mask, and I emboss the leaves using the mask. So I'm going to show you guys quick how to do that. In your kit for this card, there were 2 pieces of vanilla, and one was a thinner strip than the other one. That is the piece of paper that you want for this set of cards. So it's this strip right here. And the first thing we're going to do with our big shot, we need platform number 1. We need platform number 3. We are going to use our silicone mat. For those of you that don't know, the silicone mat is great for like if you wanted to sponge the back of, like, you could put liquid glue on here and take your sponge and put it on things that are small, like if there's greetings or whatever, and just tap your glue on that way instead of trying to get glue in a really tiny spot. Silicone mat is really great for that. I also use it for the paste. Sometimes if I want to make a colored paste, which I'll talk about a little bit later, I'll mix it right on here because this is really nice to wipe off, so it's really easy to clean up. So we're going to put our silicone mat down. We're going to lay our piece of vanilla on top of our silicone mat. We're going to bring our layered leaves mask on. Now what I would do with this afterwards, or before you actually do it, is I would put a piece of washi tape or, you know, easy removable tape, Post-its, whatever, and hold this to the back of your mask. And then that way, when you remove it, it stays together so that when you use your sponge daubers to color this in, they stay in place. But it is easy to line up. And then we're going to use plate number 4. Slide that in and run it through our Big Shot. And now you no longer have a piece of plain vanilla cardstock. You can see the leaves are embossed through here. Pretty cool, right? And then what I would do next, I would have kept my mask on, removed it, and put it on, and then that's when I used my sponge daubers and I would color it in before removing the mask. But today I just wanted to make sure that I showed you the correct way to apply your layers on your stamp emboss machine, just so that there's clarification on that. So you can do that with any of the masks. So another great way to have another piece of, or another tool, I should say, to create different backgrounds and textures on your paper that's not always just a embossing folder. So this is really great to do this with any folder. And we currently, we do have, I believe, in the, there's a leaf embossing folder, but it's only a partial one that's in the online store right now. But this is great. There's a snowflake one and the sunflower. So you could do this with any of these. So great little tip there for you guys. So now, how many of you actually own the masks? Did any of you get the masks before and are ready to actually do this with me today? Okay, so there are, oh, there's actually there's 7 masks in this kit. I am actually missing the snowflake one. I don't know where it went. I'm hoping when I get home tonight, my husband goes, was this the one you were looking for? It was just sitting right here in front of you. I'm not sure what happened to it. It disappeared. I hope I can find it, but I'll show you another alternative when you run into this. Susan and Mary, you have the masks, yay. So I'll show you what else you can do to create your own masks. So we have the sunflowers, and there's 4 pieces to that. There's this hound's tooth, the leaves, and the snowflakes. Like I said, mine is missing. But our first card we're actually going to start with is the sunflower card. So we'll put these aside. And for those of you who don't know, your masks are actually numbered. I don't know how well you guys can see it. It looks like it's coming through. Up here there is a notch in the top left-hand corner for your masks. They're each numbered. So this is mask number 1. This is mask number 2. So they each say that, and this notch here is what you can use as your guide to line up all of the pieces. So this is the card we're making. Isn't this pretty? Today is so beautiful outside. Now that the sun has finally come out, it definitely feels like fall in the air, and sunflowers, I just love them. So, in your kit, you need your espresso, vanilla, and now you have 2 pieces of vanilla in this one. One is for the inside, one is for the outside. You want to use the smaller one. A piece of mossy meadow, and then in your little goodie bag here should be your 2 labels. So this is some wood DSP. I don't know how many of you have looked at some of the papers already, but it's in the Joy of Christmas, I think, DSP. There's a couple different types of wood DSP. I just love wood DSP. It's really nice and neutral, and you can put it with just about every season and every color. So fun to do. So you have your wood piece and your vanilla label. And then you also in your kits have 2 pieces of wavy trim ribbon. For this card, one is longer than the other. So you want to use the short piece for this card. The long piece is for your for your leaves card here. So you're gonna take it like this and wrap it around, and then there should be excess for you to make a little knot. And that's what we'll do on this card also. Okay, so first we will start with doing our mask. Can anyone guess what color combination I used here? I don't know how many of you looked at the instructions already, but does anyone have any guesses here as to what colors I used for the flowers? Hi, Sherry. I'm showing you guys. Oh no, you have sneak peek already. Anyone? And this is also the stamp set we're using. We're using throughout the year. It's a great versatile, all occasions, all year stamp that you can do. It's got Happy Easter, Happy Holidays, Birthday, Valentine's, Thank You, Trick or Treat, and we'll use all of these on the cards today. So the first thing we're gonna do is I am going to use some washi tape. Let's see, can I get it, guys? Here we go. Sherry, very close. We are using Daffodil Delight and Berry Burst. I thought that was a fun combination. I loved how the colors turned out. So we're going to do this, and then I'm going to center this roughly on the page here. And what I did with this is, like I said, there's this little notch right here. And I'm just going to take a marker so I know where my V goes for my next ones. They are fairly easy to line up, like I said, but if you want an easy reference point, that's how I would do it. And I'm also going to put down a little washi tape over the top of this too, just because we're using two colors and I want to make sure that both of my colors lay in the same place. So we're going to start with our Daffodil Delight, and I'm using two different, you don't need to use two different brushes, but I am, because the Berry Burst area is a little bit smaller, that I want to make sure that I stay a little more in the center and not spread it all over. So I chose a smaller brush, but you can use any size brush. And then I tap it in my ink, tap off on my paper, and then I hold my stencil down and I just rub it over the top here. And you can do some light and some dark, bring in some color variation, whatever is your personal preference. Okay, so now we did our yellow, and I'm actually going to take a paper towel and just lightly go over the top of my mats, just so I am not combining my ink pad colors at all. And I did shift it a little bit because I did move it a little bit. And now you don't have to use blending brushes with this. You can also use a sponge dauber. You can also use a sponge, whatever your blending preference is, but I do prefer the blending brushes. They're so easy to work with and they glide along your paper so easily. Now, once again, tap it in the ink, tap it on the paper, and then I'm just focusing more on the center. Kind of looks like a sunrise. I just love it. So just like that, see how that really just makes it pop? And I add a little bit more up through here. And you don't have to press hard with these either. I mean, these blending brushes work so nice. And And I'm actually going to go through with my yellow over the top of this one. I want it to get just a little bit more orange. Just going to wipe some of that off again. There we go. I feel like it just pops a little bit more. Okay, so our first mask is done, and all you have to do is just rinse it off. That's how easy these are to clean. Oh, and while we have this out, actually, we're gonna take the inside piece of our vanilla and do that also. So, I'm actually just going to eyeball this, and I'm just going to use the little flower here in the corner. Oh, and you have to make sure you're not doing the other flowers while you're doing this. I just did the other two flowers. I'm just going to flip this over and do this again. I got so excited and carried away here. Just blending away, guys, not paying attention. It's so soothing. A little bit of my berry burst. And there we go. How pretty, right? Okay. Throw that one in the sink there, and we'll rinse that one off later. We're going to put our inside piece aside for a moment. Next, I'm going to use the number 2 piece, which is the leaves. And remember, I made my little dot there. And you can adjust it to wherever you want it on the page. If you wanted your leaves closer to your flowers, you could do that too. A little bit of washi tape, and then we need our mossy meadow. Anyone see it here on the table? I swear I brought it out, guys. You know, everything's in front of you on the table, and you can never see it. All right, let me see. Here it is. Oh yes, great idea, Mary. You can also use a Post-it note over the other flowers so you don't color them. I like to think I don't need that stuff, but I really should sometimes. That way I don't oopsie. I'm like, oh, it's just a little bit. I can do it, right? And you can make your leaves as light or as dark as you want them. I like to leave light areas and dark areas. There you go. So now we have leaves. I thought I brought my brown blending brush, guys. I must not have. So we will improvise. And you can read these numbers better on one side than the other, so keep that in mind too. So I have a sponge here. I will use the sponge, and I'm using pecan pie for this. Easy, right? And then we will do our inside. Okay. And then for our final piece, to add a little bit of detail to our sunflower centers. And look at that. How cool. I just love these. And I'll do it over here on our inside quick. There we go. All right, that's it. That's how easy. Yes, Mary, you should also go in both directions, all directions. The nice thing, I don't feel with the blending brushes, it really matters what direction you go. I feel like these brushes blend around so much, but definitely with a sponge. And depending on your background, sometimes we get some really detailed masks and you have to be careful, but these were really, really easy to work with. So yes, if you've never played with our masks before, you're gonna want them all now because they are so fun. And there's so much versatility. Now, I could actually take this and run this through the Big Shot and have my flowers embossed too. So that's an idea. Or you could take and you could cut these flowers out and layer them on top of this and give it dimension and things like that too. So that's another option for you. Okay, so we are going to stamp happy birthday on this card. And I have Let's Celebrate from Light the Sky. So I'm going to use those two stamps. Looks like I need to grab my blocks. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, here we go. So, happy birthday will go on our label. Not too bad. And we'll do Let's Celebrate on the inside. There we go. That was easy. So what does everyone have planned for the weekend? Anything exciting? I have a wedding reception to go to this weekend, and then I think we're headed out to Chris's folks' house to the farm, and I think there's a tractor show next weekend, I believe is the plan, out in that area. And the boys, my husband and the boys, they take the tractors and enter them in the tractor show for John. So they're really looking forward to that. They've done that, I think last year was their first year that they've done that. So they're pretty excited about that. And I need to stay home on Sunday and stamp my heart out. we have the retreat, I should say the escape, next weekend. Yay, I am so excited. I know some of you are coming. Those of you who don't know what the escape is, if you are a demonstrator, whether you're a hobby or you're looking to take your business to the next level, this is the place for you. There's so much inspiration. Chris has someone design boards. They're called boards. I'm actually I do one of the boards myself, and they take and make a whole bunch of samples and put them on boards, from cards to 3D projects, all of that. And it's such a good time, and you're with your stamping sisters, and there's lots of laughing and fun. And so if you're interested, I believe Christine sent out an email that she does have a few spots left open. So if you're interested, make sure you reach out to Christine, okay? Oh, Deanne, you're celebrating your sister's birthday with a big fire. I want to join you because I would love to have a s'mores right now. I think a s'mores sounds wonderful. Okay, so onto our card, we're going to fold our espresso in half, burnish our edges. Inside, what am I missing here? My label piece here. So we're gonna glue our two pieces together here. And I'm going to glue the sunflowers to our mossy meadow mat. Just like that. And then our ribbon. Did I grab the right piece? That's what I need to know. Yep. So I like to use tear and tape for that. And what I do is I put a small piece like this. I wrap it around and lay my piece of tear tape over it. Then I wrap it around the other way and do the same thing. And using my ribbon scissors, I'll cut off the excess. And then this piece here is what you're gonna have left. And you're just gonna tie it in a small knot. Just like that, okay? Then I'm going to pop up this layer. And I will actually use these pieces of tear tape too. Like this. We are going to adhere this to our card base. Pop up our layer. Now our ribbon is pretty thick here, so what I do is I don't put dimensionals in the center of my label. I'll actually do it around the edges here so that it cradles the ribbon, because sometimes your dimensionals don't stick to some of your ribbons as well. Okay. We'll put this here like this. Then I'm going to use a glue dot for my knot, and I like to use 2 of them just because this is a thicker ribbon. And I'll just put it on like that. Cut off anything extra that I don't want. And then I like to fray my edges a little bit, at least, I don't know, I feel like it looks a little rustic. And this card with the sunflowers and the wood, I just feel like it needs that rustic little touch. Okay, and then my other fun thing I like to do is I take my bone folder and my Wink of Stella. This is a girl's best friend, right? Make sure you got some sparkle in the tip there. And I just tap it like this. Now, you could go and take your Wink of Stella and color in your flower if you want, but just a reminder, when you're doing two colors like this, they're gonna bleed together. So if you don't mind if they bleed together, no problem. But if you don't want your colors to bleed, you're safer to do something like this. And then your card has that little bit, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I can definitely, yeah, I don't think you can see it in the camera, but I can definitely see it from this angle. And then we're gonna use our gems. I love these gems. They're so pretty and sparkly. And I'm gonna use the gold ones. I'm just gonna put 3 of them on here randomly. Like that. And we will glue our inside down. And we'll have our first card done already, guys. Anybody else have any favorite color combos that they would like? With the sunflowers? Deanne, you could outline it with ink? Absolutely you could, especially that would definitely give it that a little more rustic. You could take your pecan pie and go around the edges like that. That would be very pretty too. You can also, once you've stenciled a piece, you can do this with DSP too, but the other thing you can do is I took this piece and I embossed it with an embossing folder, and it just gives it a little bit of texture, something a little bit different. So this is what they look like, kind of side by side like this. So 2 looks, same thing. Okay, all right, how's that sound, guys? 1 card done. All right, our next card is a Halloween card. Who likes Halloween? I do. It's fun for the kiddos. So here's our card. Isn't he cute? I love, this is my set that I am doing for the escape, is Them Bones, and is it, no, Bag of Bones, but I think the suite's called Them Bones. Super cute. Now in your kit, per Stampin' Up, I am not allowed to stamp any images, so you guys just get a black cat in your kit. I didn't think about that when I designed this card, but if you happen to have this set, you could always ink him up if you want to. He's super cute. I really like him. So for this card, we need our Smoky Slate, our Yellow Moon. You have 2 purple strips, your inside piece, and in your little bag should be your cat, your label, and your bats. I think I have them all here. Dan, you like the embossed one? I do too. It's just something a little bit different. That would be cool too, to cut that part out, cut that flower out, the embossed one, and put that over the top of the other one. Okay, let's hope I don't lose my little bats because they're so cute. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use just a little bit of tape runner and adhere then to our piece of scrap paper. Maybe. It's not sticky, you guys. Let's try this. We'll see what, this is white out. Okay, anyways, I would stick a piece of tape behind here that I can easily lift up. You just want a small little strip because we're gonna emboss this whole piece. And the reason why I'm putting them together is so that my pattern looks cohesive. So that when they separate, they look like they were really one piece. So we're gonna use our tooth hound one, and you're gonna need an embossing buddy, your black embossing case, and like I have a new ink pad here. Where did it go? Here it is. Your Versamark ink. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay this over the top like this. Use my piece of washi tape. Oh, actually, guys, I forgot. Let's use my embossing buddy. Hi, Polly. Happy Friday. So what the embossing buddy does is it takes off any grease or anything like that so that the powder doesn't stick. And sometimes we have oils and stuff on our fingers, so our powder will stick to that. So that's why we take and we rub it. I think this is actually cornstarch. I don't know. Does anyone really know? But I thought it was cornstarch that's in it. And we just rub that lightly over the top. And that'll help keep our powder from sticking to areas that we don't want it to stick to. I just want to make sure that I have this on here straight and not crooked. Okay. That looks better. Okay, we're going to take our Versamark pad. Hi, Gwen. And we're just going to ink up over the top. And I'm rotating my pad so that it makes sure that we get this in all the little grooves, okay? Set that aside, put my cover on. Then we can lift this up. And you can see the pattern already on there. Then I will pour my embossing powder over the top. And I'm just lifting around the edges, or if you have one of the tweezers or something like that, you can do that also. And then I just take my piece of paper, fold it in half, and then dump my powder back in and try not to make a mess here. Okay, then I'm going to heat this up with my heat tool. Hi, Jennifer, welcome. My cord does not quite reach, so you're not going to be able to see this. But if you, I'll emboss this, and then I'm going to show you the two side by side so you can see the difference. I hope this isn't too loud on the camera for you guys. So it actually, I just want to kind of show you the difference for those of you who haven't embossed before. This one here, it just looks like powder. It kind of glistens a little bit because it has some shine to it. But this one is glossy. So that's what happens when you heat it up. It actually is like melts and becomes shiny like this. So that's how you know when you're heating it up if it is done or not, is it will look shiny. So I'll do this one next. Okay, there we go. So now both of our pieces are embossed. How many of you have used powder embossing? I should say, who hasn't done this before? Just curious if there's anyone out there that hasn't done heat embossing before. Anyone? Now, this next step that I'm going to do is optional. We're going to stamp the trick or treat on our gravestone. In memento. Just like that. And oh, I must have left my bag of bones at home. So we'll stamp, there's a little bat in the bag of bones, and I put that there. But there's also, if any of you have, I believe it's on the ocean, it's something ocean in the annual catalog. It's a boat, and they have a little skull in there. I think maybe when I get home, I will add that little skull. But for now, this is what we will do. Okay, so this is the optional part. I'm going to actually sponge the edges of the tombstone just to give it a little weathered look, because I feel like that's what they are in when you see them on TV and things like that. So I'm going to take a different side of my sponge, stamp off, and just kind of go kind of messy. I feel like you see dark spots, light spots. That's how stones look. They look imperfect. Oops. There we go, just like that. Just gives it kind of a weathered, maybe dirty look, I guess. And then I'm actually going to use my yellow, my Daffodil Delight that I used for the other card. And go around the edges of our moon. Deanne, you've done the embossing, but never with a mask. Well, now you've got something new to try, right? So I just run around the edges just so that a little bit of lightness in the center, a little bit darker around the edges. Totally optional though, you don't have to do that. Feel free to make this your own. Okay, so now we can put all of our pieces on. This was how, no, this was not how. There we go. That's how it matched up before. That's why I did it that way. So we'll glue on these two pieces. Oh, and this is a different card base, you guys. This is 4.5 or 4.25 by 11. And then don't quote me, you'll have to look in the instructions. I believe it's scored at 2 3/4 on each end. So then you get your doors here. Okay, now our moon, I'm going to pop him up, but the one thing you want to do so you can make sure you can open your card is you only want to place dimensionals on half, or liquid glue, whichever your preference is, on half of it, or your card will be not open right. And then center that on your card. And then you just want to make sure when you flip it open that you don't see your dimensionals or your glue, okay guys? Then we are going to pop up our little gravestone here. We'll put him off to the side a little bit and make sure we've got room for our kitty cat. And we'll pop him up with some dimensionals too. Now another thing you could use with the black paper is the black dimensionals, and then you won't see them. You don't see the white of the dimensionals as much. And then I'm kind of layering him over the top of the stone here. And then with our bats, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of liquid glue and then just place them like this. Because they're so tiny, they're so cute. And I think maybe instead of stamping, I'm going to put this guy right on here. That works too, guys. So if you don't have a stamp that you would want to put there, you can put your extra bat on there. And then I put the black little gems on the bats just to give the bats a little extra sparkle. You could also put Wink of Stella on here. I think we'll do that with our cat. And I'm going to use a bigger one on this other guy. Like that. All right, how's that look? Cute, cute little card. I'm going to use my Wink of Stella here. We'll sparkle up our cat. Give him some love, right? And now time for our inside. Our inside is here. Oh goodness, I had some bats and a saying to put inside here. So that's what you can do. In my card here, I put no bones about it, you're a sweet friend, and I use a little bat, and I put the skeleton of the cat right here in the corner. So feel free to decorate. I used gorgeous grape ink here, and then the memento for the bat and the cat. Okay, 2 cards done, guys. Hope you're hanging in there with me yet. Now this is a fun one. Striking card. Thank you, Gwen. And thank you. Okay, watercoloring. Who's done watercoloring? And we're using the shimmering paste. Have we done that? I guess I want to hear your feedback on that, guys. What have we done? What have we used before? I'm actually going to throw this, actually I'm just going to flip it over. So for this card, we are going to be using Orchid Oasis and Highland Heather. And here is our card. I'll put it up a little bit closer. Can you guys see the sparkle from the paste? It's so pretty. Okay, so this is our card here. You're going to need, this is watercolor paper in your kits. It's got a little bit of texture to it, but it's what you want to use when you're watercoloring. And then an aqua painter or a paintbrush, whichever is your preference. And then we have a pack of palette knives. It's completely up to you what your preference is. I tend to use this one. I don't know why. This one just seems to be the one that I gravitate to the most. So this is the one I'll be using, but any of these 3 will be great. Oh, Patricia, you've not done either one, so I'm excited. This will be fun for you. Now, I tend to, you can use paper towel. This is actually one of my kids' bibs from when they were babies. This is what I use to wipe things off and scribble on and all that stuff. So my pen is actually wet already. And the one thing I want to remind you guys of is these water pens do not twist off. Like normally you want to twist this way, they twist the opposite. So if you feel like you can't get the cover off, twist it the opposite direction of what you normally do, okay? Hi, Rebecca, welcome. So I have this, I have my watercolor paper, and what I do, you can do 3 different things. You can take your ink pad and squeeze it, and then you will get color in your lid here. I like to do that, but sometimes you get too much or you're adding too much water into here and it can dilute your color. You can also put your re-inker in here. So my favorite method to do is to actually just take one of my blocks and ink it up in here. But like I said, you can either ink it up in here with your ink pad, you can take a re-inker, drop a few drops in here, or put it on your block. Either way with the re-inker. But I'm just gonna actually, just so you don't, I feel like you get more control of how much ink you're using if you do it this way. So I'm just stamping it in here like this, okay? Cindy, you watched Rose do one. Oh, I'll have to check out her video that she did. Let's see if she did any other cool techniques or used it a different way than I'll be using it today. Okay, so you see I have both my blocks with both different colors. My aqua painter, my brush is already wet. I have water in here already. I tend to use, depending where you're from and how your water is, I tend to use bottled water just because sometimes you get those mineral deposits and stuff and they can clog up your brush. But feel free to use whatever you want. And I'm just gonna take, my brush is just lightly wet, and I'm just gonna go over the top like this and just put a light layer on top. Then I'm going to take, this is my Highland Heather, and I'm going to put the darkest color, or put the darkest part in through there. I need a little bit more water. And I'm just spreading it to the middle. Now, I've got enough water on here, and I want it a little bit darker. So I just tapped it, and you could just leave it like that, but I'm just gonna spread it a little bit and actually re-ink it back up. Squeeze some more water out. And the reason that I put water down first is I feel that it is much easier to blend your ink. If you are to take your ink and put it on dry paper, sometimes you can't get it to blend as well and you'll leave lines. Like when I put that block down like that, you could see the square outline. If I didn't have water on that beforehand, it wouldn't blend out as easily. So this way it allowed it to blend easier. Now I'm going to go through on the bottom part, and actually I'm just going to hold it down like this. I'm going to wet it down a little bit because it kind of dried already. And here we go. I'm going to put a little more water. My middle is, and just like that, that's all I'm going to do. Just want to give it some slight color. I'm blending the two colors together in the middle. You could do really light and work your way darker and darker. However you want to do this, it's completely up to you. So don't feel don't feel like you have to do it this way. This is just the way I did it for this card, but you completely can put your colors and feel free to experiment. I didn't realize I kind of did 2 purple cards and 2 fall cards. If I would have thought about it better, I probably would have done this in different blues just to change up the 4 cards a little bit. Like Coastal Cabana would be really pretty to do this with, and Pool Party. Or Tahitian Tide would be another really pretty color combination in here. Okay, so this is all I'm gonna do for this. I'm actually going to take and wipe my block off on my scratch paper. Because my paper is wet here, I'm gonna throw, this one's not bad. I'm just gonna throw it away. Sometimes I'll actually, when I do watercoloring, I will actually spread out my bib here and do it directly over my bib or even over some paper towel too. I've also used a cutting board, like they have the plastic cutting boards. I bought one, I don't know, just from the dollar store or something, and I do it over that at home sometimes too. It's just whatever I grab and is handy. Now the thing is, here you want this to dry, and as you can see, your paper is gonna curl a little bit. That's because I've got lots of water in here. It'll straighten back out. To save us some time, I'm actually gonna go through, and then you can rinse these blocks off, but I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna dry it with my heat tool. And I will dry from the front and I will dry from the back, and that will allow our paper to kind of straighten back out. So as you can see here, guys, I just was drying it on the back and it curled up even more. Now I'm gonna do it from the front and you'll see it'll kind of reverse and go the other way. See, now I've done it on the top and it wants to curl the other way. So now I'm gonna flip it over and do it the opposite way again. So I'm gonna do it on the back. Okay, there we go. It has a little bit of texture to it, so it wants to pop up a little bit. That's okay. If you don't like that, you could always, after it's dry, put a book on it or something to help flatten it off more. But once you put your liquid glue on here, it will come off fairly easy. Or not come off, it'll flatten out really easy. So there we go. That's it to the watercoloring. Now, for those of you that just popped in, I mentioned that I lost the sunflower mask that goes in this kit. I have no clue where it went, where it's hiding. Like I said, I hope my husband is at home and he's like, I don't know why you were looking so hard for it. It was right here all along. I'm hoping that's the case, but if not, we have an alternative if I can find it. I seem to be losing everything today, guys. I don't know what's happening. Here we go. It's clear. That's why I can't see it. Okay, so we don't have the mask, right? So here's an alternative. You can take any die and use window sheets and create your own mask. So here is a piece of the window sheet. So it's a clear, it's a thicker, like plastic. And I use the snowflakes from Textured Chic and cut them out of this paper. Now it is thicker and a little bit harder to cut through, so you do have to run it through your die cutting machine several times. And it will make the snap, crackle, and pop. So you can see, I've got the the snowflakes here, and they're all cut out. You can do that with any die and make any die a mask. Okay, and I even have a few oopsies here. The die moved on me as I was running it through, but that's okay, not a big deal, because I'll just put my label over there and you guys won't even know, okay? So what I'm going to do is flip this over. Here's my mask. I'm going to put my paper over the top like this, and then put my washi tape this way to hold it to the mask. And this is thicker paper, so I definitely suggest using washi tape for this one. The other ones with our vanilla and white, they tend to, you don't have to hold it, usually holding it down works really good. But in this case with this paper, and because I had water on it, hi Linda, it wants to bend and curl a little bit, so that's okay. So when I store my embossing paste, this is how I store it. I keep it in the original bag. And I use press and seal. So I actually, here is the cover that comes in. I keep all of that on here. And I use press and seal to keep it sealed. It does sometimes dry out a little fast, so make sure you keep it sealed up good. And I open a little bit like this because you don't need a lot. So with my palette knife now, I'm just gonna take a little bit like this and spread a thin layer of it over the top of my mask. And then with any excess, I just put it back in my container, cover that up. I put my lid back down with my press and seal over the top. And then my cover, and then I put it back in my plastic bag. That's how I like to sort. I know people have done other tricks, but that's the easiest thing that I have found that works for me. Now, when you use this paste, it does tend to dry onto your tools, so you do want to wash your mask and your tools right away. And you can use a light scrub brush or whatever to do that. And then I am gently going to lift my mask away and check that out. So there we go. We have some shimmery snowflakes just like that. So I'm going to put this in the sink and wash up my tool real quick. So for Chris, her big thing was heat embossing. That was her ooh ah moment where she fell in love with stamping. For me, I think I really love using paste. I think there's so much texture in it. You can color this. So before I had my silicone mat out, and you could put a little bit of this paste on your silicone mat, take your re-inker, mix it in with the shimmering paste, and you can color your paste any color. It comes with the shimmery paste, which that's what I use the most of because it's shimmery and it's beautiful, right? And then we have the regular white paste, and both you can color, both you use the same. Really, really cool. So while this is drying, just set this aside. And if, you know, in a mask like that where sometimes you get it along the edges here, all I do is take my fingers just to clean up the edges like that. And that's all you have to do. Cindy, you're liking my pretty washi tape. I love it too. I hate using it for projects like this, but I do have quite a bit of it. It was actually, I think it was a sale-a-bration item eons ago when I first started stamping. So I've got some silver, gold, and white, and I've got plenty of it, so why not use it, right? Okay, so what we have for this card is you have your Highland Heather, and we will fold that in half. Burnish our edges. Now we have our Orchid Oasis mat, and out of our mat I cut our label. So just a little paper saving tip. I'm sure most of you know that from Christine. And then we have our two labels. So we have our white banner label, and then this is what came out of our mat. So great way to paper save and let your cardstock stretch a little bit. Okay, then we need our ribbon here, and there's supposed to be, let me see, piece tucked, yep, he's still tucked in here. A piece of, this is the woven metallic ribbon. It comes in the in colors, so your Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, I'm forgetting one, but there we go, it's really pretty. So we're gonna stamp our sentiment. And this one I used Happy Holidays. And I'm gonna ink it up with Highland Heather. And if you have sentiments that are too big for your blocks, remember you can put them on here sideways like this, and they still fit on your block. Shirley, thank you. I love the color combination too. It's just something a little bit different for the holidays. It isn't always so traditional. You know, sometimes during the holidays we get stuck with red and green and colors like that. So it's nice to throw a little purple in there. Now don't tell Chris that I said that, you guys, because she'll be like, purple? Purple? Can I add a little bit more purple? So don't tell her I said you can have a little purple at Christmas. She'll go crazy and think we need to put purple on everything. Hee hee. Well, I didn't stamp that quite so well, but that's okay. We'll work with it. We're gonna take our mat and put that aside. And we're gonna take our label here and we're just gonna cut him right in half. This is another cool little trick when you have labels and you wanna give them another frame or you wanna add another layer. This is a great way to stretch them out. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue. Actually, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry, guys. I'm supposed to put it on this, and I think my paper is dry. So we're gonna do, sometimes I get ahead of myself, you guys, so gotta be careful with me. Now, the one thing is you wanna make sure you're not gonna glue up the back of this card. You don't wanna glue this up because then you're gonna have glue in the middle of your frame here. So we're gonna go like that, and then that way you don't have glue all over the place. Okay, so now we're gonna put our labels down on top of our card, just like this. Center it. And we're just gonna leave a little bit of a gap. We don't need a huge gap, but just a little bit of a gap. Just make sure I got my pieces on here enough to, there we go, just so that you could see it a little bit more. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Tahitian tied ribbon, this little, not Tahitian tied, Orchid Oasis, sorry guys. I'm thinking blues, I should make another card like this in blues. What other color combinations would you guys use? Got any other favorites? So I'm just putting a strip down the middle, like this. Oops. So just like that. And I'm gonna put another strip along the side of it because we're gonna weave this really pretty iridescent ribbon behind it. So you've got this strand here, like this. And we're gonna take and weave it just like this, back and forth. I love this card. It's all nice and sparkly, perfect for the holidays. Everything's better with a little bit of sparkle, I feel. So just like that, and I'm gonna put another piece of tear tape right here just to keep my pieces together, okay? So just like that, we're gonna put it. So I'm actually gonna add some dimensionals now. Over the top, so just like that. Unless I got glue on my fingers, I'm all sticky here. Ribbon's all sticking to me. And I'll put that in the center of our label, just like that. And then once again, I'm going to use dimensionals And the center is already popped up from your label and stuff, so you don't need dimensionals necessarily in the center of it, because you already have enough dimension right there in the middle. Okay, guys. Then we're gonna layer this on top of our card base, just like that. Take our ribbon scissors, trim off the excess, just like that. Like that. I'm gonna take a little bit off of this like this. And I love that you can take and you can, I have glue stuck to me, guys. I have all these pretty sparkly fibers stuck to me. And I'll just kind of take the ends here and spread them out. And you get this really pretty sparkly card. And then we add some more sparkle. Well, let's add some sparkle to our snowflakes here. So I'll put one here. One here. And another one right here. There we go. How easy and so much fun. And you can do this in an array of colors. So find your favorite colors and use a little watercolor paper and ta-da. And then, let's see, where are my other stamps? Right here. Okay, there's some snowflakes in the Very Cute set. And let's see, what do we have on the outside? Happy Holidays. Let's do Hoping Your Christmas Shines Bright with the Love of Family and Friends. I think that sounds good. And we will use our Highland Heather, or no, we're gonna use Orchid Oasis. How's that sound? Use Orchid Oasis, ink up our sentiment. Move some of this out of the way. Wow, that was really crooked, you guys. Good thing there is 2 sides to every piece of paper, right? Okay, let's try this again. Well, I think I'll have to redo this one at home, but you guys get the idea. And then I'm going to take our Highland Heather and use one of the little tiny stamps in here. Little tiny snowflake. And I am going to just stamp off and put a few snowflakes. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Gina. Ignore the person in the background.
Diane is coming to join me. How nice. Say hi, everyone.
This is for Janet.
Okay. I'll let her know. Yeah, I got to take it out there, so yeah. Come say hi, everyone. Diane is here.
Hi, everybody.
Have a good weekend, Diane.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, and then we insert that into our card. I'm not going to insert it because I oopsied, so I'll come back to that. So that's our 3 cards. Like I said, I did a video on the very first card, the leaves card. Where is it here? on 8/21. So you can always go back and watch how I did that one that day. So I did a sneak peek video, and this was the card I did first. So here we have our leaves, our snowflakes, the tooth hound, and Cindy says hi, Diane. I'll let her know. And our sunflowers, all 4 cards. I love them, and I hope you guys love them too, and this will inspire you to play with your mask and play with different ways to emboss. So before I let you go though, thank you, Cindy. I have a few other things that I want to share with you, and I actually need your guys' help. I am trying to grow my business, as some of you know. I originally started back in 2016. There we go. Can you guys, here we go. I started back in 2016 stamping with Chris, and I was doing classes with her, and I was designing cards with her. And then, you know, I have 3 kids at home and a husband, and life just kind of, I needed to take a break, and then COVID hit. And so now I'm back, and I want to get my business off and running. And so I want you guys to do me a favor, if you could, if you'd be willing to help me out. I'm going to flip the camera back over here. Go to my Glitter and Ink Facebook page and follow my page. If anyone needs anything, you can always email me at ginalbulo@gmail.com. And if you need any of these supplies, you can use this host code to get any of those supplies. And if you're looking for this host code, the current host code is always pinned at the top of my Facebook page. But now for the challenge. I am actually going to take this video and post it on my Glitter and Ink page. What I would love for you guys to do is to share it, like it, and I have a thing for you guys to comment. So you can comment that you shared, but I'd also love to know, we came out with some new papers. I haven't even opened them up. I actually put the boxes in my car on the way here, and I haven't even opened them yet. The boxes, I like ripped them open quick to grab these papers to show you guys. So for all of you who share this YouTube class on my Facebook page, so like I said, go to my Facebook page and share it from there. Like and comment. I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see. We have these 4 different papers, and I'm going to open them up and show you. I would like to add an additional class onto my schedule sometime. I'm thinking probably November, maybe October sometime, using one of these papers, maybe 2 of these papers, but for sure one of these papers, or maybe we could do one of each. But I would love for you guys to, I'd love to have your opinion and your vote on this. So what would you like to see? This paper actually goes with a current stamp set. I forget what the name is, and there's dies with it. So we could do this one. Let's see. So this is paper I would call is like a marriage between Chris and I. Her favorite color is purple, and my favorite color is orange. And I wouldn't say like I love orange, but I love shades of orange. So like your Cajun craze and your rust and your pumpkin pie and coral and things like that. Those are my favorite colors. So this paper here is a happy marriage between Chris and I. So if we were designing cards, we would both be happy because she'll say purple and I'll say orange. So, oh gosh, look at this. How pretty is this paper, you guys? Okay, so you have this paper. Susan, translucent florals. Yes, I believe is the name of that. And then you have just kind of a watercolor wash. And then this nice greenery. This is great. Even though this looks really springy, definitely it makes a great Thanksgiving card or a Thanksgiving layout. This too, this is just plain greenery. Add some berries with it. Oh, look at it. Looks like pretty peacock. Oh my gosh, this is such pretty. Oh my goodness. This is so pretty, you guys. Another light purple, looks like fresh freesia. Oh gosh, so pretty. So many beautiful patterns. Okay, so this is one of the patterns. Okay, so we have this one. Who doesn't love glitter paper? I do, but it's adhesive. So there's already stickiness on the back of it. I'm gonna see if I can peel up a little piece. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So there you go. It's already has adhesive on the back of it. How cool. So it comes in silver and it comes in gold. Silver and gold. No, I won't sing for you guys, I promise. You guys do not want me to sing. Okay, and then this one is Shining Christmas. Gosh, I'm so excited. I can't rip these open fast enough. Oh, and it's all like shiny paper. Like the whole piece of paper is shiny. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that. How cool. So we got some little Christmas trees. Oh, and then it's shiny on one side and like flat DSP on the other side. So little Christmas trees, some presents, looks like kind of like some ornaments, some stripes, Christmas lights. Oh, this would go really nice with the Merry and Bright set. A little argyle. Some more ornaments, some hollies and berries. Ooh, and some cute candy canes. I love it. Okay, so we have this paper. And this looks to be tartan foil, it's called. And this is shiny too. I think you guys can see that. It picks up on the camera pretty good. Looks like copper clay. And then it's like shiny like the last DSP. So this one has just, no, they're both shiny, I guess. I know, it's really pretty. Kind of looks like foil in a way, but yeah, it's shiny. So you have a darker side and a lighter side. This is really pretty too, guys. Great like fall colors. It just feels really like farmhouse-like. Yep, definitely have this farmhouse vibe to it. Make some great fall Thanksgiving. What do you guys think of this one? Did I show you 3? Yeah, I showed you all 4 already. Okay, so if you guys can do that for me, so like I said, I'm going to put this post or this video in my Glitter and Ink Facebook page. If you guys can go to my Glitter and Ink page and follow me there, like, comment. I would love to see what you guys, or I would love to hear what you guys would like to see. If you'd like to see a scrapbook page, if you'd like to see some fun folds, if you just want me to make some cards, and which paper would you guys like to see? I'm sure you want to see it all, but I'd like to hear what some of your favorites are. So in that post, if you could comment what you would love to see, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And for those of you who do that, I will do a drawing, and that drawing will include some of that paper. So I think I'll cut up like some 6x6, and depending how many people share, if I get a lot of people that share, I'll do multiple drawings. We'll see how it goes. So if you could all do that for me, I would really appreciate it. A few other things I want to show you. I have coming up September 27th, it's a Wednesday, RSVP for this class. This is the September scrapbook class. RSVP is next Friday, the 15th. So this is, oops, this is both layouts for that class. Hi, Carmen. So here's layout 1, and here is layout 2. And I forget maybe who mentioned it before, but where you could ink around the edges. That's exactly what I did with this card. You can do that also with the sunflower card. You could go through and ink up your edges too. So another idea, I forget who had mentioned that, but yeah. So this class, like I said, September 27th. And then I also have This was the card I actually did that inspired, actually my scrapbook pages inspired this card. I did this video on Wednesday. So this was the card I made that was inspired by that scrapbook page. Okay, and then I have a Memories and More class that I will be doing. And in that class, the class is $60, $70 with shipping. You will get a pack of the Memories and More's cards and envelopes, a package of the 6x8 pocket pages, a package of beautiful sparkles, a package of the balmy blue ribbon, and a package of the Memories and More cards. And the only thing that's not included in this is the album. So you can purchase the album separately, okay? And in that class, we are going to create an entire album. So this is your album with the pocket pages. Just to give you an idea, and like I said, this is just to give you an idea of what you could do. You can make your album whatever you want it to be. And you can also take these pieces and make them into a 12x12 layout. But this is a great thing to keep for yourself or to give as a gift this holiday season to someone. So this was actually our 2019 Christmas. This is kind of what I based it upon. And I thought the Memories and More kit worked out perfect. And the only thing that, there's a few stamp sets that I used in here. You could feel free to add whatever sentiments you want. This was my way of kind of doing a little bit of journaling without journaling. And some of the note cards, as you can see, some are solid, some have sayings on them, some are just pattern paper, like this piece here is just a pattern paper. This, I cut this out, this piece, all these cutout pieces, the trees and stuff like that will come in your kit. And it also comes with I think 4 sheets of different stickers and stuff. And that's what this is. These little presents right here were on a sticker sheet and I just layered them here on this. Made that cute little label. Okay, so you're gonna create this entire album, plus we're gonna make 3 additional cards to go with it. So here we've got a gift card holder, opens up like this. And this is just using the cards from the Memories and More pack. So I didn't use any extra DSP, just a little bit of cardstock to make our card base. Okay. This was just one of the cards. I added some sparkles, some ribbon, and a layer, and created a simple card here. And another card. And it's cool because these are the card bases. So this is what your card bases look like. They have, this is like, almost looks like snow. There's little white speckles in here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. So it's got the little white sparkles, and then this one has like an ombre effect to it. So pretty cool, I think. And then just cut out a few items here. This guy is a little sticker that comes in the kit. So all of that is included with your kit. So you get all those supplies. You're gonna make the 3 cards. The only thing that's not included is your album. And I also just wanted to mention that Christine has been doing this for a while, and I helped her out with it, the Wounded Warrior Project. Hi, Hildy. Thank you. So these are the cards we'll actually be creating for that project. I've never done this before, so this is my first time doing it, but we got to get together the other day and it was so nice stamping together. So you'll be making all of these cards, plus there's going to be a red, white, and blue, and it's for wounded veterans. So aren't these cute? Oh, I gotta finish putting my card together here. So, and there's this card too, but I have to finish putting it together. So this is what we created the other night while we were together. And that's coming up, I believe, the first weekend in October. So, let's see. I'm not sure what else I have for you guys today. Oh, I do know Stampin' Up! Is holding an event. It's for World Card Making Day, which is the first weekend in October. So I believe it's Sunday the 6th. Let me see if I can just pull it up and read the details for you guys a little bit. Where is it? Let's see. Here we go. Sunday, October 7th, it's World Card Making Day, and it's a free event that Stampin' Up! Is offering. So you can go and register at stampinup.com. And this is for everyone, I believe, for customers and demonstrators. So it's for everyone. And I believe once you register, more details will come out through email, but it's a free event. So why not sign up for it? I'm sure you can probably go back and watch it again. So we have that. And then, like I said, we have the DSP that is new that you're going to find. It's in the special releases. It's all new designer series paper. And there is one more pattern that goes with this. I don't think I ordered that one. So yeah, so thank you guys for stamping with me on a Friday evening. I'm glad you guys could join me. I will be back on Monday. I forgot. I'll be back Monday with a sneak peek for October's technique. October's technique, we're going to do 2 cards and 2 3D items. And one of the items is, here we go, this cute little guy. And we can put some little candy in here or whatever. So we're going to make this guy. I am still working on the rest of that class, so hopefully I will get that finished this weekend, and then by Monday I'll be able to show you everything from that. But we're going to make this cute little guy on Monday. I believe I'll be live at 10 o'clock. So I think that's my next class. And oh, the Berries and More, Memories and More scrapbook class will be on September 22nd. It's a Friday evening at 5 o'clock too. So that's what I've got coming up so far. And like I said, if anyone is interested in the Escape coming up, is next weekend. I believe there are a few spots left. So contact Christine if you have any questions about that, if you can maybe sneak in yet. Great opportunity to get lots of inspiration if you're a demonstrator, whether you're a hobby demonstrator or you're working this as a business. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you all have a great, wonderful weekend,